In the world of Peppa Pig, there are unanswered mysteries that leave fans with a lot of questions. But are you really ready to discover everything the series has been hiding?
Peppa Pig.
Names. Do you know the real names of the adults in Peppa's universe? It's very strange that everyone calls Daddy Pig Daddy, and the same thing happens with almost every other adult character. In the episode Sea Treasure, we discover that Grandpa Rabbit's real name is Reggie, but no one ever uses that name when they talk about him. Also, Mommy Pig's sister is named Dottie, which means all the adults in Peppa's world actually have real names. But why does no one call Peppa's parents and grandparents by their actual names? The only characters who shouldn't do that would be the kids and grandkids of the adults in the series, and there are some clues about this. In the episode Time Capsule, we see a video showing Mommy Pig wearing a dress covered in flower patterns. Maybe her name has something to do with that, because her sister, Aunt Dottie, wears a dress with polka dots, and that's a reference to her original name. We're going to show you this mystery and much more right now. You already know, right? Another Cinewave is starting! The Queen. Is the Queen in Peppa's universe still alive? Fans wonder about this because the character is a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II from the real world. But ever since the real queen passed away, the character in the show has never appeared again. This might be a huge mystery in Peppa's world, because the creators haven't said if they're going to keep her alive in the show or not. There have always been mysteries surrounding her for several reasons. The first one is because she's a human, and in Peppa's world, we know the world is controlled by animals. The creators have never explained why humans even exist in that universe. Another secret about the Queen is the fact that she lives alone in her palace. In the episode where Peppa's class goes to visit the leader of the country, we see that there are no servants or relatives living with her in that enormous house. So much so that the Queen herself goes to grab her own boots so she can jump in muddy puddles with Peppa. And that would never happen in the real world. A royal guard would definitely run to get whatever the Queen needed. So is she the only one living in that castle? And ever since she disappeared from Peppa's episodes, everyone keeps wondering, is she alive? This mystery still has no answer. Gazelles. Have you ever wondered who Madame Gazelle's sisters are? In the episode Goodbye, Madame Gazelle, we discover that she has two sisters who used to play in a rock band with her. But this is strange because in Peppa's universe, we know the school teacher is a vampire. So are her sisters vampires too? It's very likely because we know exactly what these two sisters represent. But wait, how so? The most famous vampire in the world is Count Dracula, and in the original story, he has 3 wives who live in his castle. Do you understand what that means? The Gazelle sisters are, without any doubt, a reference to the wives of the most famous vampire in the world. And if you're wondering where he is, we actually see a picture of him on the wall inside Madame Gazelle's house. The question is whether we'll ever see the vampire sisters revealing who they really are to the other characters. Houses. Do you know why the houses in Peppa's town are all built on top of hills? In the episode The Flood, we discover that they have to place the buildings high up so they don't end up underwater. When it rains in Peppa's town, almost the whole countryside gets flooded, meaning that if the houses weren't built high up, the characters would have to buy a new house after every rainy season. But there are 2 mysteries here. The first is, why do they live in a place that needs such extreme care with the houses? It would be much easier if they just moved somewhere safer. And the second mystery is about Rebecca Rabbit's house. Her family lives under a hill in a place full of tunnels, which means when it rains, the whole area should fill up with water. So do the rabbits actually live underground, or do they just use that space to fool the other characters? We say this because if they really lived underground, then all their things, like their living room, bedrooms, and kitchen, should be ruined after every heavy rain. Would you like to live with Peppa? Comment #Peppa so we can get to know you. Werewolf. Have you ever wondered if Mr. Wolf's family is made up of normal wolves or something more dangerous? Yes, it's very possible, and we know this because of one special episode. You might think we're talking about the day Mr. Wolf said he wanted to blow down the pig family's house, right? But no, the important episode was Wendy Wolf's birthday. That night, Wendy said that wolves howl at the full moon, but in the real world, that isn't true. Wolves can howl anytime. The ones who howl specifically at the full moon are werewolves. We've already explained that vampires exist in Peppa's world, so it makes total sense that werewolves would also exist in the story. Is that why they want to devour the pig family? And if that's really true, then the big question is, what do the wolves look like when they're not transformed? Are they actually humans? The Mark. Another secret in Peppa's universe appeared in the series recently. It's about the heart-shaped mark on Eevee Pig's face. Why is she different from the other pigs? You know that Peppa's family has circular-shaped spots on their faces, but Eevee Pig is different. For some reason, the creators made her in a more special and adorable way. Since the show hasn't explained this yet, we can only make theories, and the biggest fan theory says Eevee will grow up soon. The show may do a time skip where she becomes big enough to run and play with her siblings. This means that when Eevee becomes an older little pig, she'll probably look a lot like Peppa. That's why the creators gave her that heart-shaped spot, so fans can tell who is the main character and who is her younger sister. Is that the real answer? We'll find out in the next episodes when Eevee grows up. Pirates. There's a secret that leaves Peppa Pig fans really confused. Have you ever wondered why Grandpa Pig and Captain Dog use pirate flags? This is a very serious question because if you pay attention to both characters, you'll notice they used to be part of the Royal Navy. In other words, they worked for the Queen, and we know this because they both wear hats with a ship anchor symbol, which is the official symbol of the Navy. But the mystery begins when we see the flag on their ship. Both Grandpa Pig and Captain Dog use a Jolly Roger, which is a black cloth with a skull symbol, and everyone knows this is the biggest symbol of a pirate. So, does this mean they were pirates in the past? This theory makes sense because in the episode The Children's Festival, we see a picture of the pirate Redbeard right next to Polly, who is Grandpa Pig's pet parrot. If that's true, then Peppa's grandfather is a criminal of the 7 seas, and that would definitely be a shocking revelation, wouldn't it? Carol Cow. Carol Cow, who is Mrs. Cow's daughter, is one of the characters that causes the most confusion among fans. There are a few mysteries involving this character. Why would the creators make a character who is the same age as Peppa and appears in several episodes but has never spoken to the main character? Why does Mr. Bull, who is her father, spend so much time near Peppa's school if his daughter doesn't study there? And why isn't Carol Cow at her own parents' wedding? The character who helped Mrs. Cow the most with the wedding was Mommy Pig, which means the two are very close friends. And that's why it makes no sense at all for Carol Cow not to be one of Peppa's friends. Will they ever meet for real someday? Hopefully yes. There's a new video here every day, so subscribe and hit the bell to stay up to date. Pigs. Speaking of that, will Peppa ever meet another pig who isn't related to her? If you pay close attention to Peppa's world, you'll notice that every character who is a pig is also part of her family, and that's very strange. In Peppa's universe, we've already seen several parts of the world: the United States, Italy, France, and even Australia, but in none of those places do we find other pigs. Even so, we do see characters of other species who aren't related to Peppa's friends. So does this mean the main character and her family are the only pigs in the entire show? The truth should be revealed in the next episodes. Paintings. Has anyone ever noticed the paintings in Peppa's City Museum? In the episode The Science Museum, we see a painting showing a pear next to a green apple, but that painting appears multiple times in different places in the story. It's almost as if the episode is trying to show that all the artwork is a copy. And on top of that, we can see that in Peppa's living room, there's a painting behind the sofa showing houses and trees. The same exact painting appears in the City Museum, which is a very strange secret, because maybe this means that the paintings were stolen by someone and replaced with copies. Was it Daddy Pig who stole the original artwork? Those paintings would be worth a lot of money. Basement. Have you noticed that the pig family's basement has disappeared? In the episode The Secret Room, Peppa wants a space just for herself to store her toys. This is when Daddy Pig shows her that there is a storage closet under the stairs. But in the episode about the power outage, we see Daddy Pig opening the exact same door to reach the basement. This is strange because it proves there used to be a staircase leading to a lower floor. Does this mean Daddy Pig is hiding something? Space. In the episode Space Adventure, Grandpa Rabbit takes Peppa, George, Grandma Pig, and some friends into space. But this is very weird because in the scene where Grandpa Rabbit's rocket is going up into space, the main character and her little brother aren't wearing helmets. At that height, the air should already have run out, which is why the other characters are wearing helmets. So can Peppa breathe in space? That would be quite an amazing superpower. Statue. In the New York episode, we discovered that the Statue of Liberty is a real person, just like in the real world. This is strange and might be a clue that, in the past, Peppa's world was controlled by humans. Is that the truth? It's a mystery that has never been solved. We've left 2 videos on your screen so you can choose and keep having fun with us. See you in the next video!